What's up, YouTubers? I hope everything's tubular. This first episode in the Keys to Free Electric Power series discloses a little-known method that's common in over-unity systems that I like to call boost belling. Many people are unaware that if you charge a capacitor directly from a power source, such as a battery, the maximum energy stored by the capacitor will only be half the energy that was provided by the battery. This is known as the capacitor charge paradox. And a solution to this paradox is using a boost conversion method to charge the capacitor to a higher voltage. An easy way to boost the voltage on a capacitor is by adding an inductor and diode in series with it. And with ideal components, this would double the voltage on the capacitor. Since the energy stored by a capacitor is proportional to the square of its voltage, you get roughly 4 times the energy stored compared to just charging it directly from a battery. Due to the resistance of the inductor and the voltage drop across the diode, there will be less than 4 times the energy stored, but you can easily get greater than 3. The point is, you can leverage the energy stored in a capacitor by using a voltage doubler or a boost converter. This is the first step in the boost belling method. Before we discuss the belling stage in the method disclosed, it's important that we briefly discuss the difference between energy and power. Although the energy stored by a capacitor will always be less than or equal to the energy provided by the battery, the power relationship between the charging and discharging of the capacitor is not a conserved quantity. Power is the slew rate of energy. It's dependent upon the rate of change in energy relative to time. Some examples of mechanical systems where the output power is greater than the input power include mousetraps, crossbows, and slingshots. The reason these have more power output than their input is due to the relatively slow rate in the increase of their potential energy compared to the rapid transformation of this potential into kinetic energy. In other words, the slew rate in their energy input are less than their energy output. When you study Tesla's patented methods of power magnification, you can see he took advantage of this principle by always boosting the voltage of his capacitors to a high potential before rapidly discharging them into a high-frequency tank circuit. In an article written by Tesla that was published by the Electrical Engineer, there is a section where he said one may take a condenser, small enough to go in one's vest pocket, and by skillfully using it he may create an electrical pressure vastly in excess, 100 times greater if necessary, than any producible by the largest static machine ever constructed. Or he may take the same condenser and, using it in a different way, he may obtain from it currents against which those of the most powerful welding machine are utterly insignificant. Such results are obtainable, and easily, because the condenser can discharge the stored energy in an inconceivably short time. Nothing like this property is known in physical science. In a lecture given by Tesla, entitled On Light and Other High-Frequency Phenomena, Tesla states, when working with currents discharged disruptively, the element chiefly to be considered is not the frequency, as a student might be apt to believe, but the rate of change per unit of time. Frequency alone in reality does not mean anything, except when an undisturbed harmonic oscillation is considered. This is the most common misunderstood principle that I see in alternative energy communities. Many of them try rapidly switching their systems using transistors that are driven at the same rate as their system's resonant frequency. Common examples of these types of systems are Joule thieves and Slayer exciters. Transistors didn't exist when Tesla was alive, and if you use them in true Tesla systems, they will just explode. Most Tesla enthusiasts know he said to focus on energy, frequency, and vibration, but they are rapidly tapping their bells at high frequency instead of striking them periodically and letting them naturally vibrate. The difference in efficiency is similar to a guitar player that tremolo picks their strings at the same rate of the pitch they seek, compared to another player that simply plucks the strings and allows them to freely resonate. Tesla's principle of vibration is the bell stage in the boost belling method. In Tesla's patent entitled Art of Transmitting Electrical Energy Through the Natural Mediums, he states, in order to magnify the electrical movement in the secondary as much as possible, it is essential that its inductive connection with the primary should not be very intimate, as in ordinary transformers, but loose, so as to permit free oscillation. That is to say, their mutual induction should be small. And I have found it practicable to produce in this manner an electrical movement thousands of times greater than the initial, that is, the one impressed upon the secondary by the primary, and I have thus reached activities or rates of flow of electrical energy in the system measured by many tens of thousands of horsepower. In the transcript of an extended 3-day interview of Tesla that was conducted by his legal counsel for his testimony in impending radio patent cases related to this patent, Tesla stated, "I charged the condenser with 40,000 volts. When it was charged full, I discharged it suddenly through a short circuit which gave me a very rapid rate of oscillation. Let us suppose that I had stored in the condenser 10 watts. Then, for such a wave, there is a flux of energy of 40,000 squared, and this is multiplied by the frequency of 100,000. You see, it may go into thousands or millions of horsepower." During his testimony in court, under the penalty of perjury, Tesla stated, "By certain novel processes, the energy of 100 horsepower will be used so as to deliver into the earth power at a rate of from 5 to 10 millions of horsepower." Assuming the lowest output value of 5 million horsepower stated by Tesla, this is a power magnification of at least 50,000 times over unity. So, now that you know that you can't use conventional transistors in true Tesla systems, how do you get your tank circuits to freely vibrate using the boost Belling method? The easiest way is to like and subscribe to this channel, but the way Tesla initially did it was with electromechanical relays and segmented commutation methods. Most people don't know the very first patent that was issued to Tesla was for a commutator. He then explored rotary spark gaps and spark gap quenching methods. Since he knew efficient switching techniques were a key factor for his power magnification methods, he patented a long series of what he called electric circuit controllers. These electric circuit controllers were optimized for the production of the renowned standing waves and continuous undamped waveforms in Tesla's true electric power magnification systems. In part 2 of the boost Belling method, within the keys to free electric power series, I'll show you how you can use a pulse width modulated relay as an easy modern-day alternative for Tesla's electric circuit controllers. I'll also show you a simple vacuum canning method that you can use that makes them silent and more efficient. Most of you watching this video that have been participating in Nathan's live streams on his Old Man Builds channel know that I am a big fan of relays. It's been assumed that they are way too slow to produce the high-frequency currents that are associated with modern Tesla coil replications, but they are not aware of how to use them the way Tesla intended. Thanks for watching, stay tubular, and please like, comment, share, and subscribe to stay ahead of the curve with anti-gravity and over-unity power systems.